Ever share an idea you're genuinely fired up about? Something big, something that feels like it could change your whole life. And the person you tell just kind of shrinks it. They say something like, that's risky, that's hard, most people don't make it. And you sit there thinking, wait, aren't you supposed to get it? Aren't you supposed to challenge me, ask questions, build with me? But they don't. And that's when you realize you're not stuck. You're just in a room that's too small for your vision. This episode's not about being better than anyone. It's about something quieter and harder. Outgrowing people. Realizing you've changed. And sitting with that lonely, gut punch truth that not everyone's coming with you. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Hard Truths, where we unpack the real shit most people avoid and rewire the mindset that's keeping you small. So look, I didn't grow up with financial safety, and for a long time, I associated money with survival. Like if I didn't have it, I'd lose everything. That's how deep it ran. So fast forward a few years. I'm in a relationship where my partner made more than me. And I'll be honest, I felt safe. That financial safety let me coast a bit. I didn't push myself. I didn't stretch because I didn't have to, right? But then the relationship ended. And now I got a son. I'm with a partner who doesn't bring in the same income. And suddenly that safety net disappeared. And I went into full protection mode. Full on. I didn't take risk. I didn't want to build. I didn't want to bet on myself. Because if I failed, that meant my family was at risk. And that fear, it ran my life. But until about 5 months ago, I didn't even know how to explain it. I just woke up one day and thought, I'm done playing small. I got a kid now. And if I don't show him what building looks like, who will? So I started creating. Started this podcast. I stopped waiting for safety and started leading. Now here's where it got real. See, I have this friend. Known him for a few years. I always thought he was like me. Hungry, driven, curious. We talk about building this thing. Posting online, making content. But he'd always quit after a few tries. Still, I figured with both of us now, being dads, maybe he'd get where I was at. So I told him about the podcast, my vision, my business ideas, why I'm done with the 9-to-5 grind. And I expected energy, pushback, ideas, something. Instead, he shrugged it off and said, yeah, entrepreneurship is hard. You're basically working 5 to 5 and never stops. And I just sat there. I wasn't angry. I'm not offended. Just, wow. This dude I thought was wired like me. Wasn't. And it hit me. This isn't about the idea. This is about the mindset. And we're not thinking the same anymore. Okay, let's break down why this feels so intense. Why it doesn't just feel like a conversation, but like a shift in the core of your identity. Because this isn't just emotional. There's real psychology and neuroscience behind it. This one comes straight from the identity theory. Identity dissonance. It happens when someone around you starts changing, and it messes with the image you have of them, or even of yourself. So when you start growing, evolving, dreaming bigger, it creates tension in people close to you, because your new identity challenges their stability. Your ambition makes their inaction harder to ignore. So they push back, not to hurt you, but to protect themselves. They want you to stay who you were, because that version didn't stretch them. This one's hard. When you grow, you become a mirror. You reflect back everything that people around you could be, but aren't. And if they haven't faced their own unrealized dreams, that reflection stings. This is known in psychology as the mirror effect. When your growth makes someone else feel exposed, and instead of being inspired, they retreat. Or even better yet, they resent you. Or they shrink your ideas down to something safe. It's not because they don't care, but because your fire makes their comfort feel cold. Another big one, familiarity bias. Your brain is wired to prefer what it already knows, even when it's outdated or unhealthy. So when you start talking new language, legacy, ownership, entrepreneurship, it doesn't register as normal to people who know the old version of you. And they can't reconcile that change because in their mind, you're still the same. Still the safe version. Still the you that never risked. That's why even you sometimes want to go back. Because even your own brain gets addicted to comfort. But comfort and calling, they don't live in the same house. Now this one is huge. Social contagion theory says that behaviors, moods, and ambitions of the people around you will rub off on you, even without you realizing it. Literally, your motivation, your risk tolerance, your belief in yourself gets shaped by who you're around. You want to grow? Hang with growers. You want to build? Be around builders. Because if you're surrounded by people who normalize doubt, fear, and playing small, guess what becomes your baseline? And you might think you're immune to it, but research says otherwise. And here's the last one, and it's wild. When you start realizing your circle doesn't get you anymore, and you start feeling emotionally distant from them, your brain doesn't just say, "This is uncomfortable." It treats it like physical pain. See, research from Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA, she found that social rejection activates the same brain regions as physical injury, specifically the anterior cingulate cortex. So yeah, this hurts. It's supposed to. See that ache, that loneliness? It's not weakness. It's neurological withdrawal. Your nervous system is detaching from something that used to regulate your safety. But growth requires detachment, and detachment always feels like loss before it feels like freedom. So if you're feeling disconnected from your circle right now, if the people you used to vibe with just feel off, you're not crazy, you're not arrogant, you're not wrong. You're just growing. And your nervous system is adjusting to the new level of alignment. That's not a red flag. That's a signpost. Here's what I do when I feel myself wanting to play it small again, just to be liked, just to feel understood. I tell myself, this isn't loneliness. This is clarity. And I'm not shrinking to fit a room I'm supposed to outgrow. Then I lean in harder. I speak louder. I build anyways. I lead anyways. Because I'd rather be misunderstood as me than fully accepted as someone I outgrew a long time ago. So let me say this clear as I can. You're not stuck because you don't have motivation. You're stuck because you're surrounded by people who normalize limitation. That stops today. You don't owe your past environment your future self. Let them stay confused. Let them stay safe. You're building something bigger, and you don't need their approval to go all in. So audit your circle. Really look at who's in your life and ask, do they challenge me to grow? Or do they make it comfortable to stay the same? If the answer hurts, you already know what to do. Tag me at Danny Livin, DANNYLYVIN. I want to hear what room you're leaving and what version you're chasing. This is Hard Truths, where we don't shrink for connection. We rise for transformation. Because if they're not growing with you, they're not supposed to go with you.